Why, hello there, mutts. I'm Devin Shepherd,
And I'm David B. Jacobs.
and we are the Cadaver Dogs. Back after what has it been, David? 9 months? More than that?
More than that, like 10 or 11.
Did you miss
Yes.
us, mutts? We're here. We're dropping a very special episode.
I'm sure they missed us so much. They've been spending the entire year just waiting for, like, where's the cadaver dogs? What are we going to do without the cadaver dogs? How are we going to understand the movies that we're watching, right? That's what you guys are thinking. I'm giving you guys more credit than that. You guys understand movies. That's why you're here. You want another perspective. You're able to do the analysis yourself. We'd like to take some credit for that, but you're smart.
As long as you're still watching horror movies, that's all I care about.
Yes, horror.
David, what have you been up to over the past, I guess we said 10 or 11 months?
Well, as you guys might remember, I shot a short film last year called Wild Animals with Larry Fessenden. It has been going around to festivals all year, many, many festivals, some of them really great, all of them really great. And in August, we actually won Best Narrative Short
Hell yes, you
at
did.
Festival of Cinema NYC. And then this past month, we were in Woodstock Film Festival, which is Academy qualifying. So if we had won that one, then we would be eligible for an Oscar. But we didn't win. They gave it to Charlie Kaufman, which I'm actually very flattered to lose to Charlie Kaufman. That's I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I didn't see his movie. I would love to. But I'm like, yeah, no, Charlie Kaufman is definitely better than me. Please give it to him.
That's fair. It'll be so funny if he wins the Academy Award or gets a nom from that festival.
I hope so. I mean, I haven't
Be
seen the
cool.
movie. Charlie
It
Kaufman
looks
only
cool.
has one Oscar. He should have like 3 or 4 by now. Like, that's
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
kind of insane. Okay, but also you got to meet my personal hero, my professional hero, Mr. Peach Fuzz himself.
Yeah, Mark Duplass. That was so fucking cool. It was just like an hour of him giving advice to a bunch of the shorts filmmakers, and it was amazing. I actually talked about it in more detail on our friend Mark Schwann's podcast, Beyond the Take. So you can find that after this if you would like. And me and Mark just talked for like 80 minutes or something about horror filmmaking, about the state of the industry, and about the advice from Mark Duplass. If any of you want to hear more of my beautiful melodic voice.
Yeah, it was a really good episode, so I highly recommend everyone going to check it out.
Thank you. And how about
Yeah.
you, Devin? What have you been up to?
I mean, I've been reading scripts for Shore Scripts, so I'm judging that, which has been really great. I've been doing a few panels for them, which if you follow us on Instagram, you should be able to check that out and where to find it. Also, if anyone has a screenplay that they're looking for a reader or like notes on the story, the characters, what to do, how to get it out there in the world, how to get it through development, that's something that I do professionally. So hit me up. I'd be loving to read you guys' screenplays.
Hell yeah.
And I guess something else that's been a light, though, we actually took this podcast live for the first time.
Yes, we had a trivia at Doppelganger, which is a bar in Clinton Hill that we have no real connection to. Other than that, they said, "Oh, do you guys want to do horror trivia here?" And we said, "Yes,
I
we
own this
do,
bar, guys.
actually."
That's what David's referring to. It is my boyfriend's bar.
Yes. So we went there and we've been did horror trivia for every week in October. So if any of you we haven't decided yet if we're doing it again. I think we will at some point. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, then you can find all the details on that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was great to see everyone come out. We had so much fun writing those questions.
And there were prizes. We had a lot of great sponsors. And one of our sponsors was Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, which is what we're talking about today.
Yes, we were so lucky. I mean, as you guys know, we love Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. We talk about it on this podcast every single year. And this year, we actually got to go with a press pass and see more movies. So we have a lot to talk about today. This was a really exciting year. I just want to plug up front that this was the 10-year anniversary of Brooklyn Horror Film Festival.
Yes.
So it was extra long this year. There were so many more events, so many great filmmakers that came out, a lot of alumni. It just felt like a really special 10 days in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Yeah, so let's talk about that opening night film.
Okay.
So this one was such a special one to open up the film festival. It was Queens of the Dead. So for those of you that don't know, Queens of the Dead is directed and written by Tina Romero, also written by Aaron Judge. And Tina Romero is obviously of Romero lineage. She is the daughter of George Romero. And this was her feature film as kind of a love letter to her father. It is a zombie movie.
It's her feature film debut, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. She's done some shorts before.
Yeah, but congratulations to Tina Romero on her feature film debut.
Yeah, and what a debut this was. Let me just give you a quick summary for those of you that don't know about this movie. This film follows a drag show in Brooklyn when it is interrupted with a zombie apocalypse, and the survivors seal themselves off in the warehouse or in the venue. But as the night goes on, it becomes clear they need to work together and that they need to survive. This movie had incredible effects, special effects, makeup.
Hmm.
You'll know right away, like, the zombies are not like this isn't like a gore movie. The zombie blood literally and all the blood has, like, glitter in it and, like, rhinestones. It was so much fun to watch. It has killer music. If anyone works in nightclubs or is familiar with drag shows or the queer community, I feel like there's gonna be something in this movie for you to love.
Yeah, I also just really love all the characters in the movie. I feel like even the ones you kind of start in a movie and think, oh, I hate this character. This is the one that I can't wait to see this one die. By the end, you're even rooting for them. It's really celebratory of every single individual and their differences and what makes them unique. It's has a lot to say, although not necessarily through the zombies. Like I think we're used to the George Romero movies where the zombies are a stand-in for society or consumerism or whatever. In this one, it feels like the zombies are more just the threat that needs to be overcome,
Mhm.
and the messaging more comes from the character dynamics.
Yeah, totally. I have nothing to add to that. Yeah, I agree. And this cast of characters, like David said, are really incredible, but just played by such amazing actors. I think everyone gave an outstanding performance.
I especially want to shout out Jack Haven from I Saw the TV Glow, who was my favorite in the movie. They are just so much fun and give such a different performance from TV Glow that I was not expecting. I did not recognize them.
Yeah, they were so funny in this movie.
Yeah, the movie's really funny, by the way, if we didn't mention that. It's many just laughs constantly. I will say the it's not a large kill count, and I'm kind of okay with that because I like all the characters, but I do feel like there is sort of like a bit of a hesitancy, I think, to actually lean into the horror, which I find interesting.
Yeah, Tina said in her conversation after the film, and then David and I both caught a talk with Certified Forgotten podcast with Tina Romero.
Mhm.
And Tina kept mentioning the fact that she really wanted this to be a movie that wasn't necessarily just for horror fans. She wanted this to be an approachable movie for everybody. And I think she did succeed in that by lowering the kill count,
Yeah.
not making it very gory, but still making it really really fun and leaning into those more campy horror comedy tones and choices. So it will still
Yeah.
please horror fans a lot, and obviously it will please Romero fans. But I think like this is definitely the movie to take your non-horror friends to and invite them over and watch it.
And I'm very excited for what she does next. And I kind of hope that what she does next is not zombies, actually. I wouldn't be opposed if it wasn't even horror.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's a really talented director and this definitely showcases her talent.
So, Devin, who would you recommend this to?
Well, like I said, I think this is a recommendation for everybody. I think this is a recommendation for fans of Romero, but mainly just anyone who is interested in horror, but especially people in the queer community that should go see this film 100% and support it.
Yes, I agree, and especially the drag community because there's a lot of drag in it. But also, I think it should be recommended to people who are curious to know more about the queer and drag communities.
Yes.
A lot of the time, I like to watch movies that are about something I'm not necessarily familiar with in my day to day life, and this can be a good one for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it real simple. If you like Dracula, go watch this movie. Like that's that. I think this had a limited release in theaters. I don't think it's out there anymore in theaters, but it is going to be on Shudder and AMC Plus.
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to talk about the next movie that I saw, which was Nesting, or in its native language, which is French, is Peu à Peu. This was a really interesting film about postpartum depression. It follows a young mother who is really, really struggling with motherhood and connecting to her child while she is being haunted by the past. And this isn't a spoiler, but she's haunted by her dead sister. This was a fucked up movie. I honestly don't know if I would classify it so much as horror. It is a psychological thriller. There are some horror elements, but they are very few and far between. And for that reason, I think this doesn't have as much broad appeal in the horror community, but it was a really good watch, especially for people who have birthed a child or who are a mother themselves. I think this is a very fascinating and needed exploration of postpartum depression. This is the first feature from Chloe Cinq she wrote and directed the film. It's a Canadian French movie, which actually she won the Best Canadian Director at Fantasia Film Festival, where this film played prior. It doesn't have distribution right now. I couldn't find anything on it, but I think this would be one to watch if you come across it at any point and are interested in supporting pregnancy or female horror, and especially if you are interested in supporting female directors. It is in French.
Cool. Well, the French definitely know how to make some things that are fucked up and freaky.
Yeah.
I did not get to see this movie. I think I keep seeing the title and thinking that it's about spiders for some reason, even though it's not.
Nesting?
I don't know. Is there another movie with a similar title that's about spiders? Nested or something like that?
I don't know.
I think The Nest is cockroaches. I don't know.
Okay, we don't need to go there.
Anyway,
Ugh.
well, the next one that I saw was Mother of Flies, which is the new movie from the Adams family. Zelda Adams, John Adams, Toby Poser. These are actually a family of New York filmmakers. I've met them all. They're all like the sweetest, nicest people you will ever meet. It is wild that then they make these like really disturbing and bizarre movies, and you're like, who are you? This one follows a young woman, Zelda. They all star in the movies as well. So it's Zelda seeks the magic of a dark witch in the woods to cure her cancer. It's very intimate. It actually won best film and best score at Fantasia this year, and it will be released next year on Shudder. This is very much an Addams Family movie. If you guys have seen Hellbender or Where the Devil Roams, it's very much in that same vein where it is folk horror, it's got witches, it has an awesome metal score, which is also by them because they have a metal band as well. They literally everything in this movie is just the four members of the Addams family. Lulu Adams is the fourth, who isn't part of the writing and directing team here, but does appear in the movie.
Can't imagine doing that with my family.
Me neither. I don't know. I mean, my family isn't into horror. I'm just the weird one. And then they pull me aside and they're like, David, what did we do wrong? This one I think is it's a great mystery to it. There's a lot of intrigue as you're trying to unpack the backstory and mythology in there, but really the meat of the story is in the drama and the characters. It is a very intimate movie. Zelda mentioned in the Q&A that she has recently been diagnosed with not with cancer, but with I forget the name of it, but it's a genetic illness that makes you more likely to get cancer in the future. And Toby Poser, who's her mom, is a cancer survivor, and she plays the witch in the movie. So this is a very personal movie for them, and I think that really comes across. It's very sad, but also hopeful. Yeah, so I would recommend this one more to someone who is looking for that intimate experience rather than something that is necessarily outright scary. There's not as many jump scares. There are some jump scares, but that's not the focus here.
I'm excited for it. I still have yet to see an Adams Family movie. I'm really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hellbender's been on my list forever, but every single time that they show at a film festival, it's always sold out and impossible to get into. So, oops.
But anyway, the next movie on our list is one that both of us saw. So, do you want to intro it or should I?
Yeah. So this film, let me just read the intro, the summary that I have here. After a horrible car accident, Diana is suffering from memory loss and physical complications. Her husband takes her to a remote facility where secrets begin to unravel. This is Honey Bunch, written and directed by Dusty Mancinelli and Madeline Simfewer, who you might know from the movie Violation, which is on Shutter. This one was surprise. I think you and I both went in completely blind, and I walked
Yeah.
out like blown away.
Yeah. This does not go in the direction that you think it is. The first half of the movie I thought was a little bit slow, a little bit repetitive, and I very much thought I knew exactly where it was going, and I did not know where it was going. I was extremely off the mark, and it you get to like the halfway point and it's just like, wait, what is this movie? Like, it's actually kind of hard to discuss in detail because I really don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, I don't either, but I had the same journey as you. You really have to like get through that first half of the film where it is slow to start, but then once it goes, you're like, "Oh, this is awesome and new and very cool."
Yeah, I like don't even want to tell you what genre it is.
Well, no, I think so. I think this is a gothic horror movie, and I don't think that gives
Yeah,
anything away. Clearly, it
no.
is a house in the woods, or this is a facility in the woods, a remote facility with secrets. That is like straight up gothic horror.
Yes, very much. And yeah, it has a beautiful set. The house is amazing. The
Mhm.
cinematography is gorgeous. Like it is a very pretty movie to look at.
Yes, it very much has this 70s feel, the cinematography and the set and the production design and costume design. I don't know what time period this is actually set in, if it was set in the 70s, but it just has that feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of assumed it was present day, but you might be right.
Same. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very
Yeah.
mysterious film. We can't say too much about it, but don't just take our word for it. I mean, this played at Fantastic, Sitges, Berlin, Toronto, BFI. This movie's everywhere, and it is going to be released on Shutter in 2026. Yeah, so like I said, I would recommend this film. I think for gothic horror fans, this is a good one. Just go in knowing that it doesn't take place in the 1800s. This is a modern gothic movie, but very much gothic themes.
Yes. I can't say my main who I would recommend it to because that would give things away. So instead, I will just say that I recommend it to someone who wants to go in without quite knowing what to expect, something with a great twist and a little bit mind fuckery.
Fair enough, fair enough. So I'm gonna take us on to this next movie, which was one of my favorites of the festival, actually.
Hmm.
Borman and the Devil. This was a documentary following John Borman and his career, specifically through the ultimate failure and cinematic disaster that was The Exorcist 2. This movie is so much fun. Just shout out real fast. The director is David Kitteridge, and this is his first directorial movie. He also produced and edits documentaries. You may know him from Queer for Fear, which is on Shutter. I haven't seen a lot of John Borman movies. I am a huge fan of The Exorcist 2. I thought I was the only one, so seeing this movie with a with a theater full of like Exorcist 2 fans was a great experience because I was like, "Oh, we do exist. We're out there, and there aren't many of us, but we're there.
You are all in the same theater.
We're all in the same theater, and that's it. There's no one else out there." But this really it dives deep into the making of The Exorcist 2. He has, like, production notes. There's a whole book written by the production secretary that notes day to day what is going on production. He has the camera notes, he has the script supervisor notes. It's like crazy. So he gets down to the details of day to day what happens. And guys, you think it goes bad and then it goes worse and it keeps getting worse. You think The Exorcist was a cursed movie? The Exorcist 2 was a fucking nightmare. It is insane.
Sorry, he's the director of The Exorcist 2, right?
Yes, he's the director, of The Exorcist 2. What this film does, first of all, it's hilarious. It has a bunch of animation segments throughout, but what this film really does is looks at a director and a filmmaker's basically worst moment in his career and explores how you get out of that, how you wrap your mind around something like that, how you pick yourself back up. And yeah, it's just really interesting to hear him talk about the moment in his own words. So I would highly recommend this film for anyone who is a filmmaker, not necessarily just horror filmmakers and not necessarily fans of The Exorcist 2, because I know there's so few of us, but just if you make movies, this is a good one to watch.
This also did win the Bronze Audience Award at the festival, so this is not just you. A lot of people really, really love this one.
Yeah, we were laughing our asses off in the theater. Yeah, this doesn't have a distribution deal that I could find, but hopefully will make its way onto Shutter, I assume.
Yeah, if his last one was on Shutter, then probably.
Hopefully, yeah.
And just to quickly shout out, since we mentioned it won the Bronze Audience Award, the top two were Influencers and Parasomnia, which I don't think either of us saw.
No, we didn't, but our friends did, and they both came back highly recommending those movies, so 2 extra ones in there for you
Yes.
guys.
There's a lot of movies that play at this festival. We did not get to see everything. Neither of us saw the movie that actually won the jury prize for Best Feature because it played at like 4 o'clock on a Friday. Like, okay. Although the next one that I'll be covering played at 4 o'clock on the following Friday. This is a Japanese horror movie about a serial killer who lures people into his apartment to kill them and use their body parts to build a chair.
I'm sorry,
And the
what?
movie is called Incomplete Chairs. Yeah, he makes chairs. There's a lot of chairs in this movie. It is a very strange film. It is absurdist. The best way I can describe it is if Takashi Miike had directed American Psycho and made it about chairs.
It sounds yeah, that sounds exactly what I was picturing, great.
Yeah, it's very absurdist. It is very repetitive. Just a warning, a lot of the scenes in this movie are kind of the same thing. So it's not going to be one of my favorite ones, but then as it goes, like, it's super gory, by the way. It is extremely violent. If you are queasy in any way or do not like gore, this is not a movie for you. But if you love gore and you just want to see some fucked up shit, this is probably for you. Uh the ending of this movie, without saying too much, is just completely bonkers. Not even in the plotting, just in like it kind of stops taking itself seriously, and it's really fun. It's I was laughing my ass off. It's wild. It is so weird.
I'm sad to miss this one. A few people came out. Actually, some Tori's dad. I was talking to Tori's dad about it, and he was like, "This movie fucking rocked." And I was like, "Hell yeah, Tori's dad." That's Tori Potenza, one of the programmers, by the way, who has appeared on a past episode where we covered Us and the Island
Island of Lost
of Lost
Souls.
Souls. I was going to say of Dr. Moreau, and I was like, "That is not correct."
That's the name of the book.
Exactly.
Yeah, and while we're at it, Joe Hernandez, who is one of the guys that runs the festival, has also been on our podcast in an episode where we covered My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To and Pearl. So definitely check out both of those episodes.
Yes.
As for Incomplete Chairs, I would recommend it to absurdists and gorehounds. And basically that's it. If you're not in those two camps, you're probably it's probably not for you. It is very narrow in its appeal. But if you are one of those groups, it's fucking wild. This director is apparently super prolific and has made like 3 movies this year
Oh, what? How is that possible?
because it's Japan.
Oh my
In Japan, they
god.
just do that.
I would
They do that a
die.
lot in Japan. There's no known release or distribution deal yet. Oh, and the director, by the way, is Kenichi Ugana, and this won Best Practical Effects at the festival.
Well, why don't we talk about our next movie, which we both saw? Do you want to intro this one?
Sure. So this movie is called Touch Me. It is about two codependent friends who encounter an alien, and this alien can cure their anxiety and pain through his touch and his hot tentacle intercourse.
I couldn't remember the phrase that he repeats consistently throughout the movie. Was it tentacle
Would you
intercourse?
like to have interspecies intercourse with me?
Thank you. Thank you. I
Cross
couldn't
species
remember.
intercourse. Would you like to have cross species intercourse with me?
This
That's
movie
not a question for you. You are the same species. That is a question for our listeners, though.
Yeah, as you can tell by just that phrase alone, this movie is wild. Yes, there is hentai tentacle sex. Yes, that is basically the basis of this film.
Yes, it is the hentai alien tentacle movie. um, yeah, and we got to hang out a bit with the director Addison Heyman, who had previously directed Hypochondriac, and this did actually play at Sundance. This was a Sundance movie, and it was produced by Moorhead and Benson of Moorhead and Benson fame, The Endless and Resolution and Something in the Dirt.
Yeah, and this one, the cast is really great in this one. Lou Taylor Pucci plays the alien. Did not recognize him for basically 3/4 of the movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Lou Taylor Pucci." So different from everything else that he's played. I love him as an actor. You might know him from You or The Evil Dead, the Fede Alvarez Evil Dead, Daredevil, American Horror Story. You know him, you just don't know that you know him. People should
Okay.
look him up. Yeah. The other one I wanted to shout out to was the lead female played by Olivia Taylor-Dudley, and we'll talk about her later on too, but because she's in another movie at the festival. She fucking kicks ass. This movie starts off with a one-shot monologue that goes on for, like, what, David? Like,
8
5,
minutes.
8 minutes. Yeah, one shot, guys. I think he said this was, like, the first take.
We spoke with the director of the other movie as well, and she filmed both of these back to back. So while she was on set of the other movie, she would go home at night and just study this monologue because they were going to shoot this monologue on the first day of filming for Touch Me. And then they got there and she just like killed it in the first one.
Yeah, it's crazy. She is so good, and that was a killer opening to the movie. This movie is fun. We laughed a lot. It definitely was great to see in the theater, with friends who were just going to, like, cheer on this movie being ridiculous,
Yeah.
bloody, sexy.
It's also like just an insane camera. Basically, every crazy filmmaking gimmick you can think of is in this movie. They like change the aspect ratio a bit. They have that long, long monologue. They do like zooms and weird tentacle shots and quick cuts and like color palette changes and black and white segments and literally just every filmmaking gimmick you can imagine is somewhere in this movie. The director was heavily influenced by Japanese B horror from the 70s, which I didn't think of that as while watching it. But when he said that later, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, direct references. I think that if people know those films, the Japanese films, really well, they're gonna get something else out of this movie for sure.
Oh, yeah. This is a love letter to weirdos.
Yes, yes. I did have some issues with it. I think I can't really, like, talk about them without spoiling it, just in terms of, like, story and character, but overall had a great time in the theater. So I would recommend this, yeah, to people who like Japanese movies, horror movies, and to people who just wanna see something ridiculous and different. Probably people who like Psycho Gorman or any of those types of movies.
Yeah, I really like this one, and I will recommend the movie if you heard the plot of the film and thought that sounds awesome. Like you know if you're gonna like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. This film does have distribution actually doing North American. It's Yellow Veil, so I think they will do a very limited release, probably if you're in New York, honestly, or LA. And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Do you want to give them the next movie?
Yeah, so the next one, also a documentary that I saw called 1000 Women in Horror. This is a follow-up to Alexandra Heller Nicholas's book of the same name, if you don't know it. The film highlights the marks that women have left on horror movies, both in front of and behind the lens. The book goes up to 2018, so this is kind of an additional exploration over the past few years since the book. Directed by Donna Davies. This one was definitely more educational. So this is very much going through about 50 years of horror movies. And I think this one is really interesting. We have a lot of great interviews in this one. The director talks to a lot of great female filmmakers such as Chelsea Stardust, Kate Siegel, April Wolfe, Lynn Shay, Nagatu Dusu, Mary Herron's in it, which, like, when's the last time you saw Mary Herron in front of a camera ever? Toby Poser's also in it, of the Addams Family. There are so many great names in horror that if you are just a fan of filmmakers, you're gonna get something out of this. Kate Siegel has this whole monologue where she describes the birth of her child. It is wild. She is an incredible storyteller. I would see it honestly just to watch her explain that.
Okay.
Yeah, this was overall this was just a entertaining educational film. So I feel like if you are someone who is into learning about the history of horror, learning about want recommendations on horror movies, definitely see this movie. I do want to shout out that this was really cool actually. Towards the end of the film, they're talking about who else but mother of horror, Mary Shelley. And guess whose movie appeared in the documentary? And I did not know it.
Del Toro?
Mine.
Oh, what?
Oh, we not talk about this?
Really?
Yeah. A Nightmare Wakes?
No.
Yeah, they prominently feature A Nightmare Wakes, so and talk about Nora, the director of Nightmare, and me, so that was really
Oh my
cool
god.
experience.
What the fuck? Wait, you're in this movie?
My movie's in this movie, and I had no idea.
What?
Guys, I'm 1,000 women in horror.
Well, yeah, obviously.
It's great. It was really cool. So, if that tells you anything, they really do explore the indies, the small movies, as well as the ones that have changed history. I got so many good recommendations from this movie.
I think it actually just shows that you and Nora have made it and are superstars.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and this movie will release on Shudder in the future.
Cool. Now I've really got to check that out. Jesus Christ, that's awesome. All right, so the next movie that I saw is I Live Here Now, which is when an actress learns she's pregnant after believing she couldn't get pregnant. She checks into a hotel to get away from her boyfriend's manipulative mother and have a chemical abortion. But the hotel hosts a number of bizarre characters as she finds herself on a descent into madness that will force her to confront her traumatic path. This is a surrealist movie, actually. It is very Lynchian. Like it even has a lot of direct homages to Lynch. It has the curtains. It has Cheryl Lee plays the villain. She's Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks. It's got an audition scene just like Mulholland Drive. Like it is very much wearing that Lynchian influence on its sleeve. It has an amazing central performance from Lucy Fry. The set design is incredible, and when it works, it works. It's not my favorite movie of the festival. I feel like maybe it's even trying a little too hard to be Lynch, and ultimately the reveals at the end I found a little obvious.
Hmm. Who's the director?
The director is Julie Pacino. It is a mostly female cast, which is really cool. Aside from Lucy Fry, Madeline Brewer is in there.
Love her.
Yep, she's great. Kara Seymour plays Lucy Fry's agent. The one guy in like the main cast is her boyfriend. It is distributed by Utopia, but I couldn't find any info on a release date. But they have distribution, so that it'll probably wind up somewhere. And I do like that the villain Cheryl Lee is another woman
Mm.
who's trying to control her body. Feel like that's a little twist on what we usually see. Yeah, when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. If you like Lynch and you want a more feminist slant to it, then I would recommend this.
That sounds cool. Yeah. I'm enticed. Also, yeah, female directed. Feel like we're hitting a lot of female directors on this list, which is really cool to see.
We are. The festival also, I think, is very friendly to female directors,
Yes.
which is great because we just covered a documentary about women in horror. It's a kind of a big thing that I feel like that's really what our new age of horror is leaning toward is more women in the driving seats and more women telling stories that haven't been told before. It's really fresh and feels new, and I like it.
Yes, and then also at the same time, if you watch the documentary, be like, "Oh, it's not new and fresh. We've been doing this for 100 years." Y
Fair.
yeah,
Yep, that's also true.
yeah,
The first narrative movie ever was directed by a woman.
exactly, exactly, and we don't talk
Mhm.
about them
Alice
enough.
Felipe. Yes.
But the next movie also female directed, co-directed. We both saw this one, Bloodshine. This
Yes.
was written and directed by Emily Bennett and Justin Brooks, who also did Alone with You, the COVID lockdown movie that came out on Shudder in, like, 2021.
And Emily has been on this podcast in an
Yes.
episode where we talk about The Village and Nightmare on Elm Street. And also, I worked on this movie. More on that in a bit. What's it about, Devin?
Yes, David worked on this one. Yeah, I think this is a great follow-up. It's not all filmed in their apartment, it's all filmed in their house. So this follows a religious zealot who locks a narcissistic filmmaker in her house, readying him for a sacred ritual. Very vague description, but I just don't want to give too much away. Emily is the lead in the movie who plays the religious zealot, and it is a male filmmaker that she captures. So that was such a fun dynamic to watch, and she's very villainous in this movie. I loved watching her play darker.
She's villainous, but she's also sympathetic. She's also
Yes.
vulnerable. She's not really the main villain. The main villain is Larry Fessenden. This is actually the movie on which I met him before asking him to be in my movie. Toby Poser also has a small role in there. It's a really cool cast. Also, their house is so fucking cool. Literally, not even like the stuff you see on screen. When I went there to the house, and they just have horror shit everywhere. There's a giant life-size pumpkin head in their
Oh,
garage.
so
I think
cool.
there was a life-size predator somewhere as well. You walk into the rooms that aren't being filmed, and there's just like 5 Lamont configurations just on a shelf. It's everywhere you look. There's more horror stuff, and you keep finding more. And you walk into another room that we're going to be shooting later. When you go, wow, there's so much creepy stuff in here, and then the art director says like, oh yeah, that's because we haven't dressed it yet.
Yeah, and as David said, this cast is great. Larry Fessenden, Toby Poser appears into it. David Call plays the captive, who does a really wonderful job of making you hate him like you do so many narcissistic douchebag white bro filmmakers. That is a very fun thing to have in there.
I feel very called out when he says that his short film was based on a dream that he had, because I have said that.
Yeah, so have a lot of dudes. Yep. Yep. This does have distribution. I don't know who it is yet. They haven't announced it yet, but it does say that it's going to be released later this year. It has a sales agent and they said that it's going to be released later this year. So I assume that means they have distribution. But later this year is
Okay.
like in a month. So we'll see where this one goes.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, I would recommend this movie for people who like cult films. I definitely recommend this movie to women who want to trap douchebag male filmmakers in their basement.
It also is there is a sense of catharsis for the douchebag male filmmaker
Yes.
that you do sort of get to a point where you feel for him. It isn't just a cartoonish portrayal of that archetype.
Yes.
There are elements of the parody, but it is more complex than that. Look, I worked on this. I cannot be objective. I am obviously biased. So I'm going to recommend this for anyone who wants to support us, but I'm also going to recommend it for pessimists because I think that misery can be very cathartic. I will also recommend it to kinky people.
Oh, yeah, this is kinky. This is very kinky. Yeah, there's a sex scene in here that is incredible. It had the whole theater
Mhm.
being like, "Ah, ah." Great.
That was the reaction on set as well, except for me. I was just like so excited.
Oh, David.
I'm just like, cool, weird shit. Anyway. we have a lot of movies to cover, so let's move on to the next one, Devin.
Yeah, so this one was the one that I got to see on a screener, unfortunately not in the theater because it was playing during our
Mhm.
horror trivia. This is called Abigail Before Beatrice. Abigail and Beatrice are both women dealing with the dissolution of their cult when their leader commits a horrible offense. This is a
Oh, wow.
really fascinating character exploration movie. They have different ideas about what was going on in the cult and their reactions and how they are dealing with this after they have left the cult. It is an interesting movie. Again, this is one with Olivia Taylor Dudley, who we pointed out in Touch Me, gives an incredible performance in this movie. She actually did win Best Performance of the Fest for this film, which highly deserved. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away because there are twists and turns in this movie. This is directed by Cassie Keat. This is her second feature. She did Scream Therapy before, which I don't know, but I will be checking out after this movie. It is beautifully shot. They do so much with a low budget, and she does so well to create this tension just through these character moments. It's definitely a quieter movie. This isn't like a horror film where a lot of action happens. There's some bloody things, but it's more of the tension and the drama. So this definitely feels more something like a Martha May Marlene movie. I would recommend it for fans of that, for fans of again cult movies and anyone who is interested in female-led horror and female stories. This is very much a female story.
Is it because you said Marcy May Marlene, and that one I think is a little more horror adjacent than outright horror? Is this one also more horror adjacent, or is this definitely horror?
This is definitely horror adjacent. Yeah. Again, elements of
Horror
horror,
adjacent, okay.
but is more of that thriller.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I was really bummed to miss this one because we kept seeing Cassie at the fest and she was extremely friendly and I would have loved to have seen her movie.
Yeah, Cassie was really great to talk to. A wonderful director. She also mentioned that she and her friends made a movie called Scream the Fan Favorite, which you can find on YouTube, and it's basically a Scream fan horror movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm curious about checking that one out. There's no news on if Abigail Before Beatrice is gonna be released anywhere yet, but hopefully coming to your TV at some point.
Okay, cool. So the next one that I saw is called Lucid. This is set in the 1990s. An art student struggling with a creative block takes an experimental drug to open her mind, transforming her life into a living nightmare that will lead her either to a deeper understanding of herself or to tragedy. It's weirdly comparable to I Live Here Now in terms of the plot, and it is also a surrealist movie. But I think that this one does more. At some point during the film, I stopped thinking about what it meant. I stopped analyzing the movie, which I think if you guys have listened to this pod, then that's impressive. It was just very hypnotic. I literally don't know how long it was. I cannot tell you if it was 90 minutes or 2.5 hours because I was just engrossed fully. It also has an amazing score, which was by Marta Jasiabek McKeever. I am probably mispronouncing that. And this, if you see the movie, the score really is like driving the film forward. It is so much of the power of the movie comes from this score. And I especially want to shout her out because she unfortunately passed away a few weeks before the screening. So a lot of the Q&A was them talking about her and her influence on the movie. It's very emotional, it's very cathartic, it's very funny, it's very manic. There's a lot of anxiety present on screen. I wrote here, this is kind of like if the Safdie brothers and Ingmar Bergman had a mutant nightmare baby and then abandoned it. It's surrealist, but it's not really imitating anyone in particular to my knowledge. It feels very fresh. It feels very new. The lead actress, Caitlin Akin Taylor, is fucking amazing. She gives this extremely physical, wild performance. Even a lot of the art that you see in the movie was actually by her. There are epic costumes. There's a weird creature design. There's amazing production design. Like, I absolutely fucking love this movie. I cannot recommend it enough. It's not for everyone. If you watch look at the letterbox, the curve on that is just completely all over the place with people rating it literally every possible rating. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. This is a very different film that is challenging our aesthetics of what movies can be. So I would recommend this if you want to see something that you haven't seen before, and if you're comfortable not really understanding everything. That said, the directors did specify it's two directors, Deanna Milligan and Ramsey Fendel, and they did say, I asked them, everything in the movie does have a meaning. That if you were to break it down, then you can find the interpretation of everything. I couldn't, but it's all there. For me, this is more about the emotion. It's more about the intimacy of it. Yeah, it was just incredible. Oh, it was shot on 35 millimeter and Super 8, so all shot on film, and it is getting distributed by Film Opticon International. It will be getting a theatrical release in Canada. If you are Canadian, then look that out for that. Otherwise, I couldn't find anything for the rest of the world, but they have distribution, so I'm sure there will be something at some point because this movie really needs to be seen. And especially, I think if you can watch this in theaters, then you should.
Cool. I might have to. I was sad to not be able to watch this one, but maybe I can find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing that we were going to talk about is actually the shorts that we saw at this film festival. Honestly, Brooklyn Horror Film Festival has some of the strongest shorts blocks I've ever seen. I've been to a lot of shorts blocks at film festivals, and this one consistently rips every single time. There's never a bad one in the bunch.
Yeah, and to keep it brief, we're not going to do extensive coverage on every single short, but we definitely want to shout out a few to start. Jenna Edwards, my friend who sound designed Wild Animals, had a short in this year's festival called Brian Won't Wear Condoms, which is this very fun horror comedy, also fucked up horror comedy, kind of Jennifer's Body esque.
Very Jennifer's Body esque.
Yes.
Yeah, again, I think a lot of these shorts, I would recommend any of these. The Binding, directed by Ryan Kennedy, it is not a possession movie, but a take on possession, which is really fun. And then the winner of the Home Invasion Award, which is the local filmmaker award, was Rebrand by Eduardo Ranabaldo. This was a very interesting movie about YouTubers. It took very fun risks in terms of its camera setup, and I think definitely was a audience pleaser for sure.
Yeah. I especially really love those last two movies, You Have Her Eyes and Rebrand. Those ones just clicked. And I also love YMG, which was very weird and played with structure in fun ways. At the Nightmares block the following week, I saw I think the three that I most want to shout out from this block are He, which was a demon sex movie.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, she goes to, this facility where she can have sex with a demon, but she's not allowed to look at it, and we'll see if she does that correctly or not. The Littles, which was the one that also played at Woodstock in my block, it actually has Violet McGraw from Haunting of Hill House in it,
Oh, cool.
and it's like a horror version of The Secret World of Areddy, which is an anime movie where there's just like little people, and it's like part claymation, and it's so weird, and I want that one to be a feature. I don't know if it is because he didn't show up to either of the festivals,
Mhm.
so I didn't get to talk to him. And Eonian was the last one. That was probably the scariest of all these shorts. I think was Eonian. That one was fucked up. I liked it. And then two more shorts that I saw. Blair's Craft Projects played in Home and Invasion 2, but that was also in Woodstock, directed by Jack Warren, who I got to talk to them a bunch. They're super cool. And that is like literally a 2-minute parody of the Blair Witch Project.
Oh,
It's
fun.
really fun. And I also saw Stria, directed by Paige Campbell, who I was hanging out a lot at the fest, so she sent me a screener. It was just this cool Yiddish vampire movie. And that's also a proof of concept for a feature. I would love to see the feature of that. Every one of these shorts I liked. There was not a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then we have one more movie that we both saw that we wanted to review. It Needs Eyes. This movie, I'm just going to read what Tori wrote on the Brooklyn Horror website as a summary. A troubled teen moves to her aunt's coastal house where she escapes into dark corners of the internet. Her fixation on mysterious missing women's videos leads to disturbing discoveries about the digital underworld and her own secrets. This was written and directed by Zach Ogle and Aaron Pagiano. I think it's one of their first films. Someone else has done it as well. They're both like editors, producers, actors. Yeah, David, what were your initial thoughts on this movie?
I think this movie was the scariest one of the festival, that I saw. It's really disturbing. You're literally watching her just go through all of these, like, creepy pastas online, all of these, like, video creepy pastas, and it's really fucked up, everything that she sees, and it's like, "Yo, you shouldn't be looking at all this. This is messed up." It's also very sad. I really like my horror movies to be a bit sad. There is one or two really, really great jump scares in this movie.
Yeah, it's a dark movie overall. It gets really deep and emotional, and I think for people of our age who grew up on the internet, and people of a younger age as well who obviously grew up on the internet, but in a way where like a lot of the internet was new when we were young and unregulated.
Mm.
And so you could stumble upon, yes, I meant that on purpose. You could stumble upon these really dark videos of people doing murderous things, very scary things. And you don't know why you just saw it post on a random message board, but you did. And now you're going to have nightmares for the rest of the month.
Yeah, this movie's super low budget, and you can tell that it's very low budget, but I also kind of feel like that works with its aesthetic,
Yeah.
that it really does feel like you're watching something you're not supposed to be watching. I really recommend this one. I really like this one.
Yeah. Me too.
It's very
And
analog horror.
yes, it is very analog horror. The cast was really great too, especially the lead Raquel Lebish. She hasn't been in anything. She fucking killed it. I am very excited to see where she goes from here. And then
Oh, yeah.
Isadora Leva, I don't know how to say her last name. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Also an incredible job. Manic Pixie Dream Girl in like a twisty way. And no matter who you are, I feel like you're going to fall in love with her and be hurt by her by the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There is no known release at this time, unfortunately, but hopefully that changes soon.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and even if it doesn't and you can find this on digital, I think that's the way that it should be watched too, is just, like, literally go find this in a random place on the internet and open your laptop and watch this movie, like, it's gonna be a
Yeah,
fun find.
that'd be dope. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I recommend this movie for, again, millennials, our age, anyone who, went on creepypastas and have seen things that they never wanted to see on the internet.
Yeah, I recommend this as well to fans of creepypasta and anyone just looking to be scared and disturbed. If you like something like Sinister, then this is the movie for you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is all the movies. Those are all the movies that we saw. There were a lot of them, so thank you for sticking with us until the end. If you couldn't tell, we recommend basically all of these, but hopefully you found one in the bunch. If there's anything that you can do after listening to this episode is go find at least one of those movies and turn it on and watch it and support these filmmakers.
Yes, please. Yeah, I mean, I think we recommend everything. You can probably tell which ones we lean more towards and which ones we lean a little less towards, but in my personal opinion, I did not see anything bad at this festival. Like,
Yeah,
that's
me either.
not us just being obnoxiously optimistic. It's like I told Joe at the end on the last day, like I did not see a single bad movie here, and he was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, so that was our wrap up of Brooklyn Horror. You guys should follow them online, see where these films are going, see how you can watch them next. You can also follow
Yeah,
us online. We're on Instagram at Cadaver Dogs Pod. We're still there. We're still posting, guys, every so often, very rarely, but we're there. David and I both have Instagrams that you can find through there as well. And we both are active on Letterboxd if you want to go check that out and see what we're watching
yeah.
while we're not on the pod.
I also have letterbox reviews of every movie that I saw at the fest, where I go into, I don't know if it's more or less detail, probably similar things, but yeah.
Yeah, David's a fun, follow on Letterboxd. So if you wanna see more unhinged not unhinged, honest reviews. If you wanna see more honest reviews from David, they're on his Letterboxd. If you wanna watch David's short, it's not online yet, but you can follow where it's going next because it has a few more festivals. You can find that on David's Instagram.
And the short film is at Wild Animals Short Film. Yeah, so all of our social media links will be in the in the description.
Yeah, it was so great to come back on the pod and be able to talk about this film festival. Hopefully, we'll have something else that we can chat about soon. Keep watching the space. I don't know, we might have something special for you guys. We're still busy out there trying to earn a buck, trying to
Yeah.
trying to make it in the world. So this has just been a nice little break to come back on here for
Yeah.
you. All right, Mutts. I can't remember how we sign off. Oh no, what do we do? I'll see you next time. I'll see you eventually. I'll see you eventually, Mutts.
I'll see you around the dog house. No.
Okay, bye, Mutts.
Peace.